Three, two, one, one, two, three, three, two, one.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is Commissioner Cooper, and it's time for the Peat Podcast. We're super excited tonight. The NBA season is starting to wind down. Your fantasy seasons are ending. Some of your NBA seasons are ending. But we're here to add some excitement because the playoffs are here. Let's get it started. Welcome into the studio first. He is Arthur Johnson. Welcome, AJ, to the studio.
Hell, thanks. Thank you. Glad to be here. What's good, Gino?
What's going on, man? Ready to be here. Ready to go. Ready to talk about basketball. Let's do this.
It's Gino spends his weekends in Reno. Got to love our man in tonight. Welcome in. Listen, we got a busy show, guys, like we talked about before. The NBA season is finally coming to a close, and we got some exciting playoffs to talk about. Before we do that, though, if you are watching, hit that subscribe button. We're going to have lots of great contests coming up, so make sure you get involved with that. We'll definitely add you into those contests. Also, go to Underdog Fantasy. Use the promo code 3PEAT. We're going to double that deposit up to $100. Crazy enough. Lots of big money to win, and we're going to be here to help you win it. All right, if you're just watching for the first time, or if you've been watching before, you know we like to start with the week on repeat. Dynamite indeed has this NBA season been, and we have two big players who've been dynamite all season long. Joker and Embiid, they've been showing out all season long. It's been a hot topic debate. Even Joel Embiid, which he's had some comments about it, we'll get to in a second. Let's go to Gino first. Who do you have as our MVP for this season?
Man, I'm still going with Embiid. I think a couple weeks ago we were debating between the Joker and Embiid. I know Nat and AJ were taking the Joker because of his stats. But over the last 2 weeks, Embiid just been a beast, man. And he's just been straight balling. I mean, his numbers are up there. I think the other night he had 46 and 14. And the thing is, the 76ers, they're winning. I mean, they're first and second right now is Boston and Milwaukee. They fell a little bit, but he's doing all this without Harden. Harden's been on the bench. He's been hurt, supposedly been hurt. Embiid I think he's just taking over. And like I said, it's always the last 3-4 weeks of basketball where these guys come through. They're staying healthy. But I just think Embiid right now still is the MVP.
Indeed. I mean, he has been playing great all season. Like you said, without Harden, stepping up big, putting the 76ers in great spot to get in these playoffs. AJ, what do you say, my friend? Do you have an opposing view?
I sure do. I mean, just because Embiid is putting up the numbers and stuff, and his team is doing they're winning, but I still have Jokic, the Joker. It's not just about stats, but the stats are there, and his team is winning, and his team is the number one team in the West. That's why he's my guy.
I mean, you can't get no better argument than number one in the West. He's had a great season once again, looking good. We'll talk later about fantasy too, looking good going into next season as well. Let's go into that Joel Embiid subject. He had a lot to say regarding the MVP race. Basically said he doesn't mind being the bad guy in this particular situation, as he's not very well liked, he put it, when he discusses it, because first of all, he's brought up that the MVP race is always being, the criteria is always changing. There's always some reason or another that he's not maybe getting the MVP votes. But when talking about the MVP race, he said he was okay with it because he enjoys being the a-hole anyway. Believe that or not. Maybe a little Philly tough guy talk is what it sounds like. So basically, he also finished up with all this talk by saying the pressure of the MVP vote is on Joker. He's the one who's won 2 times. It's no pressure on him. What say you, AJ? Is this Joel Embiid bringing the Philly bad guy out, or is this just whiny talk?
And that right there, my friend, is why Joel Embiid is not the current MVP. MVPs don't whine. You don't hear Joker complaining about, you don't hear Joker saying anything. And so that right there, just that's enough to put him, to make Jokic the MVP for me. Yeah, that's all. That's all I got, man.
So that's what
you don't talk about. Like I've never heard of someone come out and say anything about the MVP race. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and he's, that kind of rubs me the wrong way. What can you do?
Yeah, I mean, he's not taking that, I guess you want to say Michael Jordan-esque, where, it's we put it on the court and he's not worrying about the MVP race. And, so why bring up all this chatter of the criteria changing and all that? So I get what you're saying, but what say you, Gino? Do you disagree with this, or is he just a tough guy?
I mean, what is a bad guy? I mean, when I was growing up, the bad guy was, the bad boys were, the old Lambeers, Robins, the old Sallys. What's a bad guy? I don't think we have a bad guy. I mean, there's a couple guys in the league that do play a little bit dirty. But what's a bad guy? I mean, is he whining? I mean, yeah. Is he a bad guy? He can be if he wants to. I mean, a bad guy to me is like, you're diving on the floor. I mean, you're playing tough. Anybody goes to, they know you go to the hole, you're going to get fouled by Embiid. I mean, nobody does that in NBA anymore. You're shooting threes, you're going to the hole, and then Embiid's there. He's not going to stop you. Like I said, a bad guy. What is a bad guy? Like, define that. I mean, does he whine a lot? Yeah, but there's a lot of players in the NBA that whine a lot, especially like these superstars. Like, for instance, for me, like, whiny is Luka. Luka is probably one of the most whiniest guys. Every call. Does Embiid do that too? Yeah. I mean, but still, I mean, he's no bad guy. I mean, I think he's just trying to be out there. He wants to win that MVP. I already know he does. That's his goal. I don't know if that's taking over for him winning and trying to make everybody on his team better. But I just, like I said, I don't think that he's a bad guy. I mean, he might just be doing that trying to make himself look good. But like I said, to me, he's my MVP. So I'm still going with Embiid no matter what he is.
Well, according to Wikipedia, a bad guy is a villain or criminal, is how they have it defined. So you would be correct. He would not be then a bad guy, but
Yeah.
and as your point, he is definitely not PJ Brown or Charles Oakley or Bill Laimbeer. So then we just have to revert to what AJ said, and it's a lot of whiny talk, quite frankly. So that's basically it, sadly. I hate to say it because he's playing so good. Just like AJ saying, be that superstar, like be above everyone else. You don't need to play into all that. Just like you're not here to, this is your comment. I'm not worried about MVP. I'm worried about the 76ers winning a title. That's what I'm worried about. So that's what your comment should be, not this, that, and the other thing. Like, so we'll go to the whiny talk. All right, let's go to the LA Lakers and LeBron James. Yes, I still love you, my friend. Came back for the Lakers. Unfortunately, though, they dropped a game to the Bulls. So the question, of course, around the scuttlebutt, if you will, around the water cooler, are these guys contenders or are they pretenders? Gino, let's go to you. What do you say?
I mean, I know everybody talks about LeBron, but I really think they're contenders. I mean, now that they have Russell, LeBron, and Davis there, and then they have the little fill-ins with Reeves and everything else, Lonnie Walker. I think they're contenders. But how healthy is LeBron going to be? Is he going to be able to go the next 8-9 games to make the play-in? Is Anthony Davis going to be able to play the 8-9 games to make the play-in? We don't know. So, like I said, I want these guys to be contenders because I know how good LeBron and I know how good Anthony Davis is. But time will tell. Like I said, there's 8 games left, 7 to 8 games left, and I want them to be contenders. But the way it's looking right now, I don't know. Like for LeBron, it's up and down with him right now. So I don't know if they play better with LeBron or they don't play as good with LeBron. But LeBron has to have the ball the majority of the time. So right now, to me, I want them to be contenders.
Yeah, with the season winding down, we'll talk a little bit more about the Western Conference seedings next week as we get into our playoff matchups and stuff. Tonight we're going to get a little more into the Eastern, but as we look into these particular matchups, and like you said, can LeBron stay the course? Is it the LeBron of old? They got a great team. Can they put it together and make a special run? That's the big question. But, we got a Laker insider on our staff here. Let's go to AJ. What do you think? Are these guys contenders or are they pretenders?
Man, I hate to say it, but we're pretenders. LeBron comes back, and the Lakers have been playing pretty well. And, it's just like they don't know how to it's like they don't know how to play with LeBron. So it's like they just sit back and watch the show. And, LeBron is a show, but like AD just like, and that's what we don't get from him. Like AD is not a number one. I think he's a number two. He's so passive. Like I think in this stage in LeBron's career, I think he wants AD to take the reins, and take us to the promised land. But AD he's not ready for that. I don't know. So I definitely think we're pretenders. That game hurt me so bad, they traded Patrick Beverly, and Patrick Beverly was talking all kind of trash. And this is in LA, you know what I mean? And like to not show up for that game is just unacceptable. Now, do I hope they prove me wrong? Yes, I do, as your resident Laker fan. But as we're pretenders.
Well, it's to LeBron's credit, his entire career, that's what he's always tried to do, is make other guys better. And, here he is winding down his career, and he has a superstar here in LA that to your point, he's trying to get him to take over. Now, I do remember when LeBron came to Miami, and there was that point where it was like after that series with the Mavericks, where it was like, I'm screaming at the TV, take it to the hole, because all he would do is want to lay back and shoot this little, wait till the shot clock was down to the last second and shoot this little fadeaway three. Like, what are you doing? You're so big. You're so such a gifted athlete. Take it to the hole every time, because the worst thing they could do is foul you every time. Take notes from Michael Jordan. That's what he did almost every week. How many fouls did Michael Jordan get every series? Took it to the hole because he knew, especially in crunch time, you're either going to foul me or I'm scoring, period. That's what it takes. And that's what AD needs to do and take the reins over from LeBron at this point. So to your point. All right, let's talk about the Eastern Conference Finals matchups. So we got some excitement to build on. So let's talk about right now. We know that the Bucks are number one. We don't know the matchup yet because of the play-in options. Right now, it could be either, it'd be the 8th seed, either the Heat, Hawks, Raptors, or Bulls right now is how it's set up. Number 2, the Celtics right now. They're either play the 7th seed right now, seeded probably either the Heat or the Hawks is kind of what it looks like. Number 3, the 76ers, just talking about Embiid, facing the number 6 Nets. Liking this matchup indeed. And then another good one here, the number 4 seed, the Cleveland Cavs, who've been on a nice little tear, going against the number 5 New York Knicks. So I ask you, my fellow brothers, AJ, we'll go to you first. Give me the matchup you're most excited about for the Eastern Conference Finals or for the playoffs. Sorry.
I think for the Eastern Conference Finals, for me, this first round matchup, I'm looking at the Knicks and the Cavs. I think that's going to be a great series. I actually think the Knicks will upset the Cavaliers, but I'm excited to see the Randall Brunson duo versus the Garland Mitchell duo. A stat I just heard today too that might go against my favorite since I'm picking the Knicks, but Donovan Mitchell has made the playoffs every year of his career. That's pretty impressive.
That is impressive.
Awesome.
So, but yeah, I just still think they're maybe a piece away or from really making some noise. But next year it might be a different story. But I just feel like the Knicks are rolling. It's exciting to be a New York Knick right now, like to play in the Garden. I think the Knicks are going to take it, and I can't wait because it's been so long since like it's been a playoff for the Knicks. So I really think they're going to bring it, and I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, it's almost like seeing that late football in Lambeau, where you see that late playoff basketball in Madison Square Garden. It's really the same deal. That's what we want to see, later on as of course basketball fans. You like to see those vintage teams finally making a run. How about you, Gino? What's your big Eastern Conference matchup?
It's going to be the number 3 76ers against the number 6 Nets. And now the Nets, I just like, wow. Like, they get rid of Kyrie. They get rid of KD. It's like, wow. Like, they're number 6, and it's just like, wow. I actually, this is real. The other night, we had a YMCA night. I coached basketball over there. And they had the game was the match against the Nets, man. And they have Bridges over there. They have Dinwiddie. They have Claxton, of course, Cam Thomas, and for them to be where they're at right now, losing their 2 superstars, it's just amazing. Like I said, Philadelphia, Harden. I mean, I think the key is going to be Harden, and I know you haven't beat him. He's going to put up his numbers. Maxi's going to put up his numbers. Tobias Harris, to me, still. He shouldn't have gotten paid what he got paid because he gets it done, but he's not that third player. They have so many different players that are their third players. But to me, the key in getting to that series, and like I said, Nets could upset them. If they don't have Harden just playing his normal Harden playoff scenario, I think that could be an upset. I really do, just because the way the Nets are gelling right now. I know the Magic beat them, but it's okay. Bridges had 44. And that's the man over there right now is Bridges. But like I said, it's going to be Harden. I think the key is going to be Harden. I think everywhere he's gone, it's going to be Harden. Like wherever he's gone. When he was at Houston, yeah, he averaged 50, but he was shooting 30, 40 shots a game. But it's the old Harden. He can't do what he did before. But like I said, I'm still an Embiid fan. If Harden's playing the way he needs to play, I think they overcome that series. But we'll see. We will see. Like I said, the Nets are probably one of the most surprising teams in the NBA right now.
Well, just to add 2 cents to that, you realize they don't even have Ben Simmons playing, and I just heard they're shutting him down for the season.
They're shutting him down, bro. And I think the contract I don't think that they need to pay him for his contract this year because he hasn't played enough games. It's sad, And he was doing well at the beginning of the season, and then all of a sudden, boom. It's his back again. So he's not rehabbing right, or something's going on over there. But like I said, I was surprised just to see what they've been doing. And like I said, they've been quiet. They haven't been to talk for the NBA. They're not on TV. They're not on national TV. It's like March Madness. You don't half of these teams that are there now. You don't ever see on TV, but they're making it to the Elite 8, the Sweet 16, the Final 4. It's just always these teams under the radar. It's amazing because I like it. I like the underdog. I like it.
Simmons is about as soft as a cloud's booty, so let's not even get on that. And it's funny you bring up the Nets because they almost, I'm always going to do the football references. It's what I know, but they're almost like the Carolina Panthers of this year, where they trade away Christian McCaffrey. And all this, you got 4 different quarterbacks. And they were still winning football games, impressively enough. So, almost the same type of comparison with the Nets. but I don't think they stand a chance in that series, bro, to be honest with you. But as far as me, it's my playoff matchup is the only one the Miami Heat are in. That's the only one I give a shit about. So let's go Heat. All right, guys. Well, we are going to take a quick break brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. We get back. It's time for AJ's Fantasy Fast Break. We'll be right back.
Underdog Fantasy is here to save your post-fantasy football season blues. The easiest place to play and win with the Underdog Fantasy app. Get up to 20 times your money in a single night with our Pick'em contests. Grab some insurance when setting your picks and win even when one pick fails. Go online now and use the promo code 3PEAT to double your deposit up to $100. Sit gingerbread, good girl.
And welcome back to the Fantasy Fast Break. So for most leagues right now, they're in
I'm gonna hit your little intro. Sorry. I didn't want to interrupt you.
All right. Oh man. All right. So we're back, and welcome to the Fantasy Fast Break. So most leagues right now are in the championships of their leagues. So I want to give you just a few pickups because this time of year, your studs will be probably getting some load management, and these are going to be some good people to put in to fill in while these guys are resting. I want to start off with Shaden Sharp. He plays. He's good for three positions: shooting guard, small forward, and power forward. So that's valuable in a category-based league. He plays for the Trailblazers, and in his last three, he has scored over 25 points a game. The Trailblazers have basically shut down like all of their star players, and so the rookies are going to get a chance to shine. So grab Shaden Sharp if it's not too late.
Is he any relation to Sterling or Shannon? I'm just curious.
That's a good question. I actually, that was the first thing that came to my mind when I was doing my research. Yeah, I don't think so, but
we'll have to look into that.
Never know.
All right, moving along. The next guy is going to be Marvin Bagley, and Marvin Bagley got traded from Sacramento. He wasn't having a good year there. He's in Detroit now. Detroit's kind of in a rebuilding stage as well, and he's put together a nice 2 or 3 games for them. So for a fill-in, he's going to be the kind of guy you want. Okay, and he's a power forward. All right, and last but not least for me, Kobe White. And when I think of Kobe White, it's March Madness times right now. He had a hell of a tournament for the North Carolina, Tar Heels. So, but he is playing very good right now, as he lit my Lakers up. But he's a great fill-in as well. So, good luck to anybody that's still alive. Gino's still alive. Good luck, buddy. All right. So, Gino, actually, I was going to ask you, did you have anybody that you?
Yes. Well, I'm going to go ahead and go on what you said. Two of those guys I'm in the final. So, it's my first time in the final. I'm always I'm always in the top, and then come playoff time, I wet the bed, man. So it's horrible. But like the pickups that you had, Kobe White and then Sharp, I have them both. I actually picked them up, and they got me to the final. So there we are. My pickup right now is Eubanks from Portland. Nurkic is out. I think they're probably gonna maybe play him maybe 1 or 2 more games. If they do that at all, like you said, Portland's just shutting everybody down. Everybody's hurt, like everybody. Eubanks the other night, he got me 6 blocks. So we're in a 9 category league. He does blocks, he does rebounds, his free throw percentage, field goal percentage. So he's actually doing good right now with everything. Because like I said, the rest of that team is shut down. And I think Portland plays 4 games this week. So my pickup of the week is Eubanks from Portland Trailblazers.
Nice. All right, Coop. Well, we got Commissioner Cooper. Who you picking up this week?
Yeah, I think actually it's a good point by Gino, something I didn't do in my research, but good point to bring up to your fancy guys. And you brought it up last week. Look for how many, when you're doing these pickups, look for how many games they're going to play. Some of these teams aren't playing as many. So definitely a great point. You brought it up last week, AJ, Gino this week. My ad this week, though, is Luke, excuse me, I'm about to mess it up already. Kennard, if I'm saying it right. He is from the Memphis Grizzlies, 51% owned. And guys, listen, ladies, they say ladies love the long ball, but they like the deep balls as well. He went 10 for 11 last week and closed out the Rockets 151 and 114. Not only did he clinch the playoff spot for the Grizzlies, he's going to clinch that championship for you this week. Go out, get your boy deep balls, Luke Kennard.
I like it. I like it. All right.
I do.
Okay, so we're moving along. I kind of want to just give we're going to take 2 seconds to give a little fantasy etiquette for you fantasy people out there. So this week's etiquette is, if you are not playing for a monetary value, don't be picking up players. You know what I'm saying? Like, let the people that are still alive
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? So like, why would I have to say this? Because it's people in my league doing it. So
yes, they are.
I'm sure maybe in your league too, but like,
go get a life.
If you're not playing for money, don't pick up nobody, man. All right. Next up, we have AJ's FTG.
Oh, fuck that guy. Yeah, fuck that guy. Ooh, it ought to be a crime. He ain't no friend of mine. Fuck that guy.
You lose. Good day, sir.
All right. So, my FTG of the week, and even though I'm a Laker fan, is LeBron James, the King. This guy, man, damn. I mean, like, when I think about it, my dude didn't play. He didn't play my week in the quarterfinals when I needed his ass. He did not play. And then he doesn't play. He doesn't play the whole weekend. It's like a spot start Friday. And he's still on my injured reserve list because I didn't know he was going to play. So my FTG, and I love you, LeBron, but you're my FTG this week.
Oof.
So moving along, Gino, who's still alive in the championship. Did you have an FTG this week? Last week, actually.
Yes, I did. And it was Mark Cannon from Utah. I mean, he's been top 10 fantasy all year round. He's probably going to get most approved to me or SDJ, Alexander Shea, but he's been my top 10 all year round. Like, I got him in like the 11th round, and he's been my top 10. Then last week he hurt his hand, he hurt his pinky finger or something like that. I don't know what happened, and he's been out. So I had 4 games for Utah last week, and he only played in 1. And luckily, I picked up Old Nick last week, and he kind of played for him, which made me go above and get that final. But Mark Cannon, man, it's just like, and then he didn't play. He's not playing again tonight. Like, what's going on, man? Like, you're not playing now. Utah's fell down 2 spots, and they're not even, they're not even playing right now. So they fell down since he's been out. They've been losing. I think they've lost 4 in a row. When he plays, they win, and when he's not playing, they lose. That's the main guy there. I mean, you have a couple more injuries on that team, but Mark Cannon just kind of screwed me over last week. Luckily, I had enough other players to fill in for that Mark Cannon numbers. But like I said, Mark Cannon is my FTG.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, it's never too early to talk about who would you take with your first pick in next year's draft. So I'm going to go to Cooper with this one. Commissioner Cooper, who would you take if you had the number 1 pick in the draft? Who would you take?
Yeah, so listen, I'm a 90s guy, and I know all about Luka, who lives on the 2nd floor. And I got to tell you, this season, this guy has been great, averaging 33 points, 8.6 rebounds, 8 assists, 1.5 steals, and 2.8 3-pointers a game. guess what, guys? He's only 24 years old. So even in dynasty formats, he is a great grab for you. Now with free throw shooting, go ahead and throw it out the window in that category. But oh well, he'll make it up everywhere else for you. Luka's your guy. He would be my number one pick.
I like that. And Gino, who would you take?
I'm going to go with the guy that led me the whole way this year, and just because I want to keep him is Shea from Oklahoma. I mean, he's been a beast. Like, and it's just not in points. His free throw percentage, I think he's averaging 13, 14 free throws a game. He gives me 3-4 steals. He'll give me 2 blocks. Assists, rebounds. He's been my man all year. And like I said, whoever does me right one year, I'm going to go get him the next year. If you fail me one year, that's it. I'm never picking you up again. So Shea is my guy for Oklahoma. I'm also a Butler fan too, but Butler, just like you said, Butler he plays. He doesn't do any back to back. So the person that's been the most consistent, I would have to go for is Shea for next year. So Shea is my man.
Nice, I like that. Shea has, he's definitely outplayed his value. I don't think anyone thought he would perform the way he did or he has, For me, I'm going with my MVP guy, Jokic, last year when I had some success when I won our league, I had Jokic, and it's just like you don't see it, but the guy just stat stuffs. And if you're in a 9 category base league, he's gonna hit every category. So that's my guy. So that's who I would roll with. And Gino, I'm drinking the same Kool-Aid you're drinking. If you screw me once, and I got about 5 or 6 of those guys on my roster,
especially this year,
will not ever be on my team again. But I think we're gonna have to, like, that's something that we're gonna have to talk about too, is because this is the new NBA. Like, guys are gonna load manage. So I mean, you have to consider that when you're looking at these guys, when you're drafting them. Because
AJ, the thing is, what gets me, like I said, we're all fans of NBA. What gets me is, like, if these people that are scheduling these superstars back to back, they're not going to play one of the games, and then you have somebody that goes out there and wants to go to see a Curry, or wants to see a Shea, or wants to see anybody like an Embiid, and they're not playing back to back. They're going to miss that game. Then you have a fan or a little kid that's going out there trying to watch that game. Oh, we're not going to play tonight because of rest. They need to start scheduling these games a lot better. I mean, don't do back to I just believe in that, and they said they're going to change the rule. They're going to change the rule. They haven't changed the rule. It's not fair. Like, my kids, I know what my son likes, but if it's back to back, you got to take that risk of going to the game, and if they don't show up, it just takes the burden off the kids going to the game, which I don't think is a right thing to do. You just need to schedule better, or go on a 6-game, 7-game road trip. It's too much. It's being away from home and stuff like that. Like I said, football, it's once a week. Basketball is at least 3 or 4 times a week, and I know football's a little bit tougher than basketball is. But give these guys a break during the week. Don't back to back. We're playing 4 or 5 games in a week. Just give them. They're not machines or not robots. Either give them some time to rest. I just think that would make the NBA a lot better, because we sit here, especially in fantasy, you just sit here and saying, "Oh, we're resting tonight." Like tonight, Shea and Butler are out, but they're playing tomorrow night because it's back to back. We want those guys playing every single night. We don't want to have it for them to sit and not be able to play. So that's my thought. Sorry.
It seems like the NBA needs to look at the scheduling process and look at maybe, even if it extended the season, because it can't be good for the value of these teams when your star guys are missing games. Especially tickets aren't cheap anymore, So like, if people are paying their hard-earned money, which I think most of these athletes realize, that your superstars, they realize that they want to play, but then again too, they're protecting their investment. So,
and I think to Gino's point, comparing it to the NFL too, the NFL does do a good job of, when those teams got to go play it in London, they're scheduled for an off week or a bye week the next week. And these guys get paid a lot of money to do the schedule. I'm assuming these people are somebody up high in the NBA. Get paid a lot of money to sit here and mark it and mark all this whole season out. So yeah, you're right. Either cut the season down a little bit or schedule it out differently. There's definitely some kind of happy medium I'm sure they can find with the players.
Excellent. All right, guys. Well, we'll be back right after this commercial break.
Jazz, Sportsbook, Casino, and Racebook, the world's best resource for all-purpose online wagering. For over 20 years, Jazz has provided the best and quickest payouts in sports and entertainment wagers. Live sports betting, covering all the major sports leagues, and even into the new and exciting world of esports. Down the stretch you'll come, with Jazz's online horse wagering. Get paid when you play with Jazz's fun and exciting online casino games. Go online now and use the promo code TSS for our new members deals. Jazz Sportsbook, Casino, and Racebook, the world's best resource for online wagering.
Welcome back. It's Gino's Pick of the Week. Welcome back, guys. It is Gino's Picks of the Week. Okay, guys, we're going down to the wire here. We got to cut. I think there's like 7 or 8 games left in the season. I think it's 2.5 weeks left, and we have some major games coming up. It's going to determine third place to the play-in. I mean, it's just a couple games out there that I was looking at over, and especially being with the teams that I'm about to tell you, I was really surprised on everything. Especially the first game that I'm choosing is for tomorrow night, which is at 10 o'clock. Is going to be the Timberwolves against the Suns. They're going to be in Phoenix, and that game's at 10 o'clock. The Timberwolves, surprisingly, me too, just like the Nets, are 39-37, 5-5 in the last 10, and number 6 in the West. Wow, the Timberwolves, and they've been hurt all season. Now the Suns, they're 40-35. They're 4-6, but they have Durant coming back tonight, so hopefully they can get on a winning streak. And they're number 4 in the West. AJ, who are you taking? The Timberwolves or the Suns?
Oh, that's a tough one, especially with KD coming back. But actually, it isn't a tough one. With KD coming back, I'm going Phoenix. I think KD is he's a bad boy. He is a bad boy. So I'll look for them to get back on the winning streaks with him coming back into the lineup.
Yeah, I think your point with KD, I always compared him when he went up against LeBron, it was almost like Coke versus Pepsi, or Optimus Prime versus I can't think of the guy Magnet, whatever the hell the other guy's name was on the other team. Megatron, thank you. Jeez, oh please, sorry. So great point I was trying to make and totally screwed it up. But point being is that he is a bad man, as AJ said. If he wasn't coming back tonight, I'd maybe give the Timberwolves a little bit of an edge, because listen, they're on that teetering, maybe getting that playoff game stuff, so they don't want to get into that realm. They got a lot more to play for than really the Suns, who are sitting okay decently in the West. So I am going to go with the Suns tonight. Just so you guys are aware, the Suns overall all-time lead the series against the Timberwolves 79-44. Believe it or not.
Wow.
That's crazy.
I like that. And then this to talk about the Suns, though, also who comes back tonight is Ayton. I mean, he was up there as my honorable mention for the FTG. He's been another player that he dominates when he plays, but then he's out for 2-3 games. And like I said, if they have their full team between Booker, Paul, Ayton, and then KD, of course, I just don't understand why they're not winning. Okay, I just don't understand that. Maybe KD coming back is going to change that, which I hope, because I'm a KD fan. I've been a KD fan since day one. AJ will tell you that. But it's just come on, guys. I mean, it's coming down to the playoffs. They did this last season. They were number 1 all year long, and then they choked at the end. And I just don't know if KD is going to be able to handle that whole team. Now, that you have KD over there. It's not Booker's team no more. It's not Ayton's team no more. That's KD's team. So I'm just, like I said, I'm going to definitely going to have to go with Suns because KD is back, AJ and Cooper. This is my pick. And that whole Western Conference is up for grabs. Besides the Nuggets and the Kings and the Grizzlies and stuff, they already clinched. But it's all up for grabs right now. And I'm excited to see this because basketball hasn't been the same the last couple of years just because of what we went through. Just to see these guys go for it is going to be amazing, especially with this playing now. Like this playing, they started back when we were here in Orlando for that during the pandemic. So my chosen was the Suns. All right, here we go. So Saturday we have April 1st, which is April Fool's Day. At 7:30 p.m. we have the Mavericks versus the Heat. Now the Mavericks, this is crazy. 37-39, 3-7 in the last 10, number 11 in the West. Not even in the play-in right now. Like, what's going on over there? Then you have the Heat, the Miami Heat, Cooper. They're 40-35, and they're 6-4 in the last 10, and they're number 7 in the East. I said Butler's sitting out tonight. Like what's going on? What are you guys doing over there? I mean, they've been hurt too, also. So Cooper, I'm gonna start with you. You taking the Mavericks or you taking the Heat, my friend?
2 minutes, 2 minutos. Of course, we're going with the Heat, baby, all day. Jimmy Butler's sitting because we ain't worried about the Mavs, bro. You just spelled it. I ain't worried about them. Why we gotta worry about it? He's gonna sit there and relax. Ain't nothing to really worry about. By the way, Heat all time 37-35 against the Mavs. The Mavs, though, have won 2 in a row in the series. Last time they played was in January. The Mavs won 115-90. We're going to break that streak. It will be Miami Heat.
Go Heat. AJ, Mavericks or the Heat?
Earlier as you were talking, you were saying, what's wrong with Dallas? What's wrong with Dallas is that Luka Doncic has been hurt. Kyrie Irving has been hurt. These guys, neither one of them can stay on the floor. And so, Coop, if you were in my league, I would let you pick Luka Doncic first because that would give me a chance to get somebody else because he got me really good this year. Anyway, we're not talking about that. We're done with the fantasy segment. But I'm going. Damn, I'm going Miami on that one. Actually,
the pain is still deep. We can tell.
I'm gonna go ahead and go against both of y'all. I just the Mavericks. They're number 11. They Kyrie and Luka got to start gelling here soon. It's going to be a very big disappointment since this trade has happened. Kyrie going to Dallas, I thought it was going to help them better. Like look at another star on that team. It's unbelievable. 3-7 in the last 10. We fell to number 11. I think they were number 6 or 7 a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, and they just fell. Like, what's going on? Come on, Mark Cuban, you got to do something over here. But I'm a Mavericks. I'm gonna go with the Mavericks just because they have to win. And like if Kyrie and Luka are playing, they get a better opportunity. If one of those guys are playing, forget it. I the Heat all the way. So the Mavericks for me, my friends. Sorry about that. I'm just gonna go with Mavericks. Okay, so Sunday, the day after Saturday, April 2nd, we have the Warriors versus the Nuggets. Okay, so that game is going to be at 8:30 Sunday night. It's going to be a televised game. It's going to be nationwide. It's going to be the Warriors, who are 39-37, 5-5 in their last 10, and they're number 7 in the West. The Nuggets are 51-24, 5-5 in the last 10, where they're falling off just a little bit. They're still holding that lead in the Western Conference, and they're number 1 in the West. Cooper, who you taking? You taking the Warriors? Or are you taking the Nuggets, my friend?
When you proposed this game, I started, of course, immediately, I'm like, it's the Warriors all day. You know what I mean? Like, no problem. Steph Curry, we're getting playoff time. That's easy. Well, when I looked into it a little bit, it looked like the Nuggets got a little something for the Warriors. They've won 2 in a row on them. They played just in February, and Nuggets won 134-117. So they and again, I didn't look that far into it if there was somebody hurt or missing, but I think it's a lot to say. A team's won 2 in a row on you. I'm going to go here with the Nuggets. I think that they got a little something for this Warrior team. And, building the right momentum towards the playoffs starts here in like Denver, the matchup.
Mr. Arthur Johnson. Warriors or Nuggets?
Warriors or Nuggets. So for me, Golden State has been so up and down, and especially on the road. So I'm going to have to take the Nuggets. I think Golden State will get it together, but I don't trust them right now on the road. So I'm going Denver.
Denver. Both of y'all picked Denver, of course. I'm going with Golden State. The Warriors have been up and down. Curry came back. He's been playing very well. I think he's just starting to get his skin on my back. Klay Thompson's been being Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. The other night, me and my son Gino were watching the Warriors play, and he goes, "Daddy, what's going on with the Warriors?" I'm gonna tell you what's going on with the Warriors. There's no Andrew Wiggins over there right now. Wiggins has been out. Okay, they're trying to fill in with Kuminga, these other guys, Lamb, and everybody else. DiVincenzo from Milwaukee. These guys won that championship because of Andrew Wiggins. I mean, I'm not saying it's all him, but that's the missing part right now. It's Andrew Wiggins. I mean, he's been out for a while now. They're just not. They're up and down with everything. Golden State, they'll win 2 in a row, they'll lose 2 in a row. And like I said, they're number 7 in the West. And like I said, if you lose 2 games right now in a row, another team wins, you're in the play-in. You're out of the playoffs. It's crazy how this Western Conference is going right now. But I'm going to go with the Warriors just because they are on the road. And they're going to be the underdog. I always go with the underdog. So I'm going with the Warriors on this one. So go Warriors. All right. Last but not least, the game of the week. We got this going on. This is going to be tomorrow. On Thursday, March 30th. It's going to be the Celtics versus the Bucks.
Ooh.
Now, the Celtics are 52-23, 7-3 in the last 10, and they're number 2 in the East. Now, the Bucks, on the other hand, are 54-21. They're also 7-3 in the last 10, but they're also the number 1 in the East. AJ, you taking the Celtics? Sorry, the Jaylen Brown Celtics? Or are you taking the Giannis Bucks?
Oh man, this is easy for me. I mean, I'm definitely going Bucks. I feel like for the Bucks, Boston is like their little brother, and they just slap them around and say, "Hey, get your ass back down there." You know what I'm saying? Like they're not ready, in my opinion, but we'll see. A healthy Bucks team with everybody on that roster playing, I don't think they can. I don't think Boston can withstand it. So I'm going the Bucks.
Okay.
So,
listen.
Cooper. Yeah, so this is one of those as I start to dive into it, like, okay, what, you start to think about the matchup and what does it mean for both of these teams? They're only separated by a couple games. There's still a few games left, so they can't really sit there and lie back and think this is okay because, Celtics could come up and take that number 1 seed away from the Bucks, which is going to be crucial, of course, in the Eastern Conference Finals. So I think these teams will be at least somewhat of a full go. Not quite sure where, I'm going to lie here because really they've split this season. So they've both been, they both played each other very well. In fact, last time it was just in February, it went to overtime and the Bucks inked it out 131-125. So it's really, to me, it's almost a toss up because I'm literally wondering in my head, how much strategy are they using? Do they want to press on this team? To me, I would think, in my mind, listen, I want to win this matchup because I want to set the tone going into the playoffs. I want to be like, I don't care. We got that last one on you, especially if you're even Milwaukee, you just, you won the last one. That's 2 in a row already. So you're building that momentum. You know what? I'm going with the Bucks. Let's go Bucks. I like them to win this matchup. I think they're going to build that number 1 momentum seed and take it all the way.
Well, that's okay. Well, that's funny because you guys want the Bucks. I'm going with the Celtics, and the only reason why is last week I heard all this stuff about Jaylen Brown. I heard it all. Could he have his own team? I kind of come on, man. Or you want your own team? This week they're 7-3 in the last 10, so they are playing right now. Jaylen Brown, I think, had 41 the other night, 37 the other night. Tatum had 39, and Tatum had 36 or something like that. So they're playing well right now. This right here is my Eastern Conference Finals right here. Celtics against the Bucks. And like AJ just said, the Bucks, if they're fully healthy, I see they prevail. But like the Celtics, they got Marcus Smart still over there. They got a couple fill-ins. But I think the Bucks are just too strong depth-wise. Starting 5 against starting 5, I think they even out with Robert Williams back in the lineup and stuff like that. But the Bucks, their depth is just too strong. But for this game, I'm gonna go with the Celtics because they are on the road and they're actually one of the best road teams in the league. I think they're number 1 or number 2 in the league for being on the road. So I'm going with the Celtics with these guys, and that's my game of the week.
All right, don't get too far ahead of yourself, though, Gino, because next week when we get back, we're going to be making playoff predictions. So don't be getting too far ahead of yourself now. No,
I'm just saying for the future. I'm rubbing the team ball, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it makes the crystal basketball. All right, I got you. Speaking of next week, don't forget to check us out. Hit that subscribe button and the notifications button. We'll be alerting you to our next good stuff. Of course, you can always check us out, though, next week. And speaking of next week, we will have the return of Nat. Our best wishes for you, my dear. We love you, miss you, and I can't wait to get you back into your proper seat and lead the three-peat into the playoffs. All right, listen, we appreciate all of you guys. For AJ, Gino. Guys, real quick before we close out, let everyone know where they can follow you at, AJ.
On Twitter, you can follow me at Arthur Johnson. That wasn't delay. I got froze right there. On Instagram, you can find me at I am Arthur Johnson. And yeah.
He is Arthur Johnson, ND. Gino, where can we find you out on social media?
Yes, I am actually on Twitter. I am Magic Fan, capital M, Magic Fan, capital FAN, 1624. On Instagram, I'm under Gino Rossi, and then also on Facebook, I'm under Gino Rossi. So I'm on all 3 different social medias. So look for me there, and hopefully y'all can check us out. Peat Podcast in the house.
That's it. Follow, subscribe, get all of our great content. We're going to have lots of great stuff for next week, including playoff predictions, maybe even a special guest. Who knows? We got lots of great stuff for you coming, so keep coming back. We appreciate you all, and we are out.